Neil started looking at Instagram.
Alright. Yeah, I was looking at Instagram because...
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
I'm so due for a haircut. It's...
It doesn't even look. You can maybe see
Look
when
how
you turn.
long.
It doesn't look bad when you're just looking
Look
at the
how
thing.
long.
It's business in the front, party in the back, baby.
Look how long.
There's kind of a mullet.
Someone came up to me today on the street and said, "Hey man, I just want you to let you know you look like Mike Gundy." Do you know who Mike Gundy is?
No.
He's an Oklahoma State football coach.
Mm-hmm.
Let me show you.
Hair in my mouth. That was disgusting.
Let me show you.
Ugh. We're gonna put that on the screen, baby. Hey, we didn't intro the episode
Oh,
yet. What are we
shit.
doing?
Did
We're
we
just
start?
talking.
No,
None of that is part of it.
We always start with these cold openings.
Cold
anyway,
opening.
Mike Gundy.
Welcome to season 2. Wait, episode 4.
Yes.
Yes, of Who
Got
Invited
it.
Will. I'm your host Jay. To my left and your right is Neil,
Boys.
and to my right and your left is Will.
That's me.
So let's get started,
Boys!
guys.
Everyone thought I wasn't going to do it. They thought I was going to come in with the boys. So that was fake. It was fake.
Why are
Came
you
in hot.
screaming?
Because everyone thought like, oh, I was just going to do the boys.
Everyone
boys.
thought. You know what's funny?
Yeah.
That there is no everyone right now.
The haters.
So
The haters.
you're predicting the future.
New year, same intro.
What?
New year, same in 2021.
Yeah.
It's our first episode back
From what? Oh, from 2020.
from 2020.
We're back from 2020, guys.
Yeah.
We haven't recorded an episode all year.
Did a robot say that or did Will say that? I'm not really sure.
Willbot.
It's
A Willbot. Wait,
So-
what were we talking
so
about earlier that
2021
was interesting? Sorry.
Oh, did you not think that was interesting?
No.
Oh,
I didn't
okay.
think anything you were
All
saying.
right, so let's
what were you
move
going to
on.
say?
So anyway.
You were talking about
Boys,
how we were back from the air.
boys.
Enough.
Yeah.
Listen, you were talking about something interesting, which I thought that we should
It
bring
wasn't
back.
that
My
interesting.
haircut.
It was his haircut.
No.
I look like Mike Gundy from
Or-
Oklahoma State head coach of the football.
We already
coach.
said that though when I was
Oh.
recording. You were talking about you have to face your demons again. You have to face your fears from a couple episodes ago. The MRI.
What? No, we didn't.
You brought up having to do another MRI.
Yeah, I have to get another MRI.
What do you mean? We were talking about that when you came into the
like
door.
3 hours ago, we were talking
30
about
minutes
that.
ago.
Yeah, I have to get another MRI. We
Well,
talked
give an
about that
update.
a couple
Give
of
an update. How you
All right,
feeling about
MRI update. Again, I'm an athlete, so being an athlete, you got to get an MRI.
it? Look at the
I
camera.
got to get MRIs,
Smells like
and
weed. Smells like weed in here.
being an athlete, you got to get MRIs. So I've got another MRI coming up. No big deal. Gonna go do it. I'm gonna knock it out. And to be honest, I just found out it's gonna be the exact same MRI machine at the exact same location.
Your old nemesis.
It's my new enemy, and I'm gonna knock it out. I can't wait for the MRI practitioner or whatever it is. The person is because he's gonna ask you. He's gonna say,
Technician.
"Yeah, the technician. Thank you, practitioner and technician." That's why Will's here to keep me in check.
Wait, who invited Will?
Yeah, not me. The technician is gonna be like, "Hey, you ever had an MRI before?" I'm gonna be like, "Listen, John, I was here 2 weeks ago. Do you not remember me?"
Yeah.
Athlete.
Like, oh, you're the guy who cried in the machine. Right, we had to clean everything because your tears got all over everything. Yeah, oh god, yeah, I don't know. How could I forget? Sorry, dude.
Yeah.
You pissed yourself and broke it.
Did you vomit in the mask? We had to throw that away. That mask was $4,000.
Yup, that was me. Anyway, I'm gonna kill it. I'm not even worried about it. Let's just do it. I wish I could do it right now. So I'm gonna knock
And we
it out.
have John with the machine.
Hey,
Come
John,
in,
come on in, John. Bring the MRI machine. We're going to do it this episode. That's what this whole episode's about.
Yeah.
No. What
Neil's
is-
MRI challenge. He can be in an MRI machine for 48 hours without crying.
Yeah,
Oh,
let's do
man.
it. I could do it. 72 hours, to be honest. But anyway.
Yeah, exactly.
Now, what is this episode
I'm
about?
not editing
Will?
the footage. Can you imagine how much editing that would be if you were in a machine for 7 hours? How would just be the same shot over and over again?
Yeah.
We'd have to make it entertaining.
How could we make? I don't think we can make it that entertaining.
It would not be. No.
No, but we had a lot of good
We'd have a
positive
party
feedback.
in the room. We have a party in the room, and then we just film the party. And
We've had a lot of positive feedback about the marathon challenge, though. I think it's been it's been good.
And that's why we need you guys to like, subscribe.
Yeah.
Watch.
Subscribe
And
to
what?
whoinvitedwill.com.
Yeah.
That's our YouTube channel. You type in .com, it goes to the YouTube channel. There's a lot of good stuff on there. There's Neil's Marathon Challenge. There's the fast food burger identification challenge.
There's everything.
There's
the
every
gyoza
episode
challenge.
we've ever done. And there's going to be more. I mean, we've got a lot of
We've
big
got
ideas
dad
in the
jokes.
works.
We've got stand-up comedy from
Yeah.
last season. We've
Yeah.
got so much entertainment
We got a whole back
for the
catalog.
whole family.
Except for the children. Except for the minors, you know?
Well, we have the dad
We have
jokes.
some explicit language. We have some light
Told
soft
Carstown.
core. We have some
Oh, we
softcore
took that
porn.
out.
No. Oh yeah, we edited
We took that out. We took that episode out. The
Yeah.
softcore porn episode.
Yeah, exactly.
Took that out. YouTube
Lost episode.
lost episode.
So wait, okay.
But this episode, let's
Right.
forget about the previous episodes.
Where are we going?
Will, what's today's episode about?
Well, it actually kind of ties into what you're saying about this MRI. You're setting goals for yourself.
Okay.
You have a mentality.
You mean the
that
new
you're
year?
gonna- not the new year. The MRI has.
I
nothing
thought
to do
that's
with
where
the
he
new
was
year.
going with
I
it.
thought
he was
going
going to say
to
this
do.
ties into the new
I
year.
feel like it ties into the new year because this is a new year, right? What's today's date? January first, second.
It's
I've already
impossible.
lost.
Yeah.
It feels like
Who
the
knows?
last 10 days it's been Saturday for like 10 days in a row.
Yeah.
Doesn't it feel like it?
Well, I've
Is
been,
today
I've been
Saturday?
working a lot. But
Oh, well, that makes one of us.
Yeah. I haven't been.
had to get some cares.
Okay, but like
But
you're
it is
saying, it
that.
ties into everything like that. Yeah.
So yeah, goals. So
Goals. Setting goals.
What about it?
Forgetting
long-term
goals.
goals, short-term goals,
Regretting goals.
personal goals, career
Yeah.
goals,
Setting them.
setting, achieving the whole business.
M, whatever that stands for.
Yeah, we actually
Oh, I
looked
got
this.
it.
I don't actually know what they are off the top of my head, but there's something that I heard. Neil knows them from. It sounds like an old tennis coach. But
Well,
there's this SMART acronym, and this is gonna.
Yeah. Well,
Whoa,
before we jump into that,
wait.
let's.
We're
wait
putting
a minute.
we're putting the cart before the horse here, boys.
What else is new? Will.
Yeah.
He's always jumping ahead. Will's just a freaking long jumper.
They
I'm
call him
afraid not.
Mr. Behind Horse.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, because he's always putting
I want to ask you guys
cart
something.
ahead of the.
I get it.
Okay.
I want to ask you guys
Funny,
something.
real funny.
Do you guys actually, honestly, do you guys set goals for yourselves every year? Is that something you guys do?
No.
So my goal in 20.
Will
I
says
think,
no. You don't ever.
Yeah.
I haven't.
No, I do, but they're always funny. Like I had a goal to have a threesome one year.
I
Didn't
remember.
accomplish that.
Did you write
ladies, if you're still
Hey.
going to jump into the boat,
Are you setting it for this year?
to have a threesome? Nah, I don't know. I don't
Nah, or I don't know. Those are two separate answers.
No, it was nah. ... I don't know. It was actually one answer. No,
nah,
but I'm
and
not.
I don't know. That's like
I
yes,
usually set
no.
funny goals. I set funny goals. I don't set serious goals, but I do have things in my mind I want to achieve. But I just think that tradition of New Year's resolutions is corny.
But New Year's resolutions, I would say, are corny. I think that's a stigma. But
Yeah. Wait, you set goals every year?
I do set goals most
At
of the
New
time.
Year's?
Not necessarily at
Okay.
New
In
Year's.
January?
Okay, so with tennis, I have, because Will has alluded to it, I have set goals in the past because my tennis coaches, shout out Pedro, shout out Gonzalo, they taught me as a kid setting goals was very important to becoming a good athlete and a good tennis player. So I did that, and then I transitioned when I stopped playing tennis. I started doing that with my professional life and just my life in general. So I started setting goals for myself, and it did happen around New Year's. So probably like the first week of January. I wouldn't say like New Year's Day I said it,
Yeah.
but
So
I do set goals
do
and I write them
resolutions.
down. But I wouldn't say they're necessarily resolutions because I feel like a resolution. I feel like resolutions are so like. I feel like
Passe, or just like-
mine have come from a different source. Mine have come from athletics, and I feel like others are
Yeah.
just like from nowhere. Like mine,
Yeah.
I feel like been instilled in me from a different source, from like a professional source. So mine don't feel like resolutions. Mine have become a part of me, where others are kind of just like like, oh, I should do this. This is a resolution. It's a New Year's resolution. They label it as that, so it doesn't really stick. Mine is not a resolution. These are goals. When you label it as a goal, I feel like it's different than when you label it as a resolution. I feel like resolution is a little bit hokey doke and it doesn't really last as long. So when you label it as a resolution, I just think it's weak.
But
personally.
Okay, what's the last? Did you set them this year though?
I set a few this year.
What are they? Do you want to go down the list?
Sure.
Are you lying? Did you actually?
No,
set
I
them?
did, and I wrote them down. I write them down, and I review them at the end of every year. I've done this for probably 12 years in a row.
So what is?
And some are still on the list. Some are still on the list. There are some I have not achieved.
What's
in
the last one you
5
achieved?
years.
What's the last one you achieved? How about
Buying
that?
a house.
Nice.
That was on the list last year, and I did it.
Okay, that's big.
That is definitely one that was on the list. Here's one that's on the list. That was on the list last year. That I recently have started, but I have not accomplished. Last year, I said, this is kind of what is it, like bringing out laundry? Is that what it's called?
Airing dirty laundry.
Airing dirty laundry. So I'm not really proud of this, but I wanted to quit gambling last year, but I didn't.
Oh.
But I did, as of the last month.
This is getting deep.
In the last 4 weeks, I have stopped gambling completely.
Really?
And I'm
Aren't you playing basketball fantasy? Final Fantasy basketball?
Yeah, but that's a $20 thing is different. I'm like, and I'm pretty sure it's over.
Exception to the rule.
Yeah, it's over. I'm positive it's over for me.
Why extreme to extreme?
No, it's not an extreme.
It is extreme.
No, I know when
you went from gambling to not gambling. That's
the thing with gambling. I wouldn't say it's the reason I'm quitting is a monetary thing. I think if I wanted to gamble, I can easily continue gambling as a monetary thing for sure. Because I actually had a pretty decent last year. I would say I'm actually in the surplus. I think I'm in the positive for.
Okay, regardless though, my point is, why do you want to quit at all?
Time. I can devote time to many other positive things.
Like what?
Exactly. Learning the guitar, which I've picked up.
Uh-huh. Well, that's good, but I still feel like you'd have time to gamble and do both of those.
No, because gambling, when I do it,
it takes
requires
over.
Research.
It's research, yeah,
and
a lot of
watching
research.
The game. A lot. The way I do it, and I don't gamble in a rookie way. I do it where I research games. I listen to a lot of podcasts. I follow the right people. I have to watch the games. I have to understand what's going on. There's a lot more to it. There's a lot of following, a lot of Twitter reading. There's a lot of following.
But if you just gamble a little bit, then that's all less because you're just gambling on a few games. You have to research a few games.
No, because
you're saying
at the point of where I'm at, when I do it, I'm so deep into it. I need more. I can't just do it a little bit. I have to.
So you feel like it's one of those things where
I'm deeper
either
into.
You're gonna do it.
It's like the movie Inception, right? You're like in level 9. I'm at level 9.
You're gambling within the gambling.
I'm level 9. I'm at level 9. I'm not at stage 2. I'm very deep into the Inception.
But I'm just saying,
that happens a lot with it's just
because it doesn't do anything.
Yeah,
for me.
exactly. It's just like
so you're either gonna do it or not do it. You're gonna do it or not do it.
It's like addiction.
It needs to be.
As soon as you get that, it's same with adrenaline
it's a part-time
or anything
job.
else. As soon as you start doing something, you get a rush off the initial. First it was $2, then it was $20,
but
then
not
it's
even.
$200.
It's time. It's more time.
But wait,
I will lose sleep. I will lose a lot of sleep.
Cell phones.
I will lose a lot of time, and I can devote.
What do you like about it?
Why
do you get that deep?
It became
what does
more
it give
of a
you?
job.
What does it give you? Like, what does it? The feeling of it? Does it give you a rush or?
But I lost it now. That's the thing. It used to give me that. Now it's become more of a job.
It's not fun.
It's not fun anymore. Even when I win, it's not fun anymore. And I'm winning more than I lose.
Yeah.
Even last year, and it became even when I won. I'm more tired from it. So now I want to devote my time to my goals. And that gambling was never a goal.
I want to devote more time to not gambling.
Stopping gambling was a goal. Not gambling more or winning more was never a goal. So now
I don't know. It doesn't seem like it's that problematic for you.
Getting healthy. Okay, so my goal is I've had this elbow injury. So curing my elbow injury.
Before we get into that, gambling was a good goal. Let's pause. Let's pause. Let's maybe
Stopping
let's
gambling was the goal.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think you should. I mean, just
But then it's his.
bring it down. But like,
If he's saying he can't do that, then what's
No,
wrong
I
with him
stopped
just
though.
saying?
I
well,
stopped
wait.
for the month.
But seriously,
The month of December, I
I
stopped.
I'll bet you $20 you will not stop gambling.
100. I bet you. Oh.
Almost got him.
No, but that's a difference in the gambling I'm thinking of.
Yeah,
A
exactly.
bet here or there is not. That doesn't trigger my gambling. A gambling
Is
to
researching who's the starting
Yeah.
quarterback,
I'm
who's
done.
the backup.
I know
yeah.
I'm done.
But I feel
I'm
like that's
positive
being
I'm
a
done.
sports fan though.
But I can be a sports fan and watch games without gambling now, and I never
Yeah.
thought I could, but I'm positive I can now.
Because I do think that's one of the
I'm
reasons
done.
you were watching.
I'm so.
why you were.
I never thought I could though, but I'm positive I can.
Because I think
I'm
that's
done.
one of the reasons why a lot of people get into gambling is then it
Makes
makes
the
the
sports
game
better.
more interesting.
But now I'm back to where I can watch games and be interested without having to put money on it. So that's
Yeah.
nice. So
I mean, yeah,
so that
it's
is
two different
that's
things.
something that is on the to-do list for this year that has been on the to-do list for a couple years where I didn't really successfully finish that goal.
And then you said your elbow.
Elbow.
Well, let us know how we can
Help.
support these goals, dude. I think if we're
I
making
don't
these
need-
goals by
There's
season
nothing you can
by
do.
season 3, we all need to have.
You
want
want
to
to know a goal that's been on
These
my
are podcast
You
goals
want a
now.
goal that's been there 2 or 3 years now?
Yeah.
I want to I want to date a nice girl that can bring home to my parents and date long term. That's
Yeah.
been on the goal for about 2 years now. That's on the goal for this year as well. Long term relationship, nice.
Well, you
girl
have the house
that
from
can
last
bring
year you
home.
can bring her to now, which is nice.
But that has
So these
nothing to
goals
do with
sort of.
dating.
Well,
I think
it
it's-
has a
But-
lot to do with dating.
But
I think it-
gambling has more time to now date.
Sure.
Taking away gambling
Yeah,
because
it gets
you're
a
not.
little-
It does
Yeah.
because now I'm not staying at home and watching games.
So you're like, I want to now try to like roll the dice with my heart and
I get it.
But
gamble
then
on love.
I don't know. I think it's
No,
a
it's-
little
it's-
bit of a slippery
it's true.
slope because it's one thing when you are in complete control of your goals and it's all on you. It's another when it's another person that has to be 50-50 in there.
You want to talk about that? Let's talk a little bit about that with gambling. When you're gambling, when you're putting money on a game, you are now relying on someone else
Yes.
to make
That's
that
true,
happen.
you're not-
And
so-
that's the annoying thing. And that's super annoying. That's why I'm sick of it because
The
now I'm
control.
relying on someone else.
Yeah.
But that's love too. Love is like that too. That's why I said
And I like how you bring that up, and that's why I kind of want to relate it.
what's the relation?
I'm over the gambling thing because of that. Now, when it comes to the love thing, let's try to make those two different.
Okay.
Why do you have to rely on someone else? I mean, how do you?
With love?
Yeah, like.
Well,
it's-
I think.
it's,
Well, it's not. What do you think?
Well, it's a relationship. I mean, it's
Yes.
they-
Okay.
And I think, well, what I've noticed about your personality is, I wouldn't say it's an addictive personality, but it's a
I
definitely
would.
extreme.
I think everyone has addictive personalities in different ways.
Sure, but
I mean,
the-
says Mr. 40 bottles of whiskey, says the guy who's like vaping weed during this. Everyone
Sure.
has their little vices. People do coffee. You know what I mean?
yes, but I'm not saying that. The whole thing that I was trying to bring up is, it's a lot different when, like, you can become obsessive over certain stuff. So then, if you're
That's true.
putting that same kind of pressure on someone else or a relationship, I do think people can pick up on that.
Yes,
and
I
unless
think you're
they're
right.
not in the same frame of mind of,
You
I
have
need
to
like,
relax.
Okay, but devil's
You have
advocate.
to relax.
Maybe,
No, he's right.
no. But devil's advocate, maybe there is a partner out there who will respond well to that type of.
That's what I said.
But
too.
maybe
yeah.
not.
If
I would
you
say
find
most
someone
likely
that's-
not.
what I mean.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
you-
most
at the end,
likely
yeah.
not.
No.
I would feel like no, most likely not.
And I also would say that
most
that's
likely not.
most
The
likely-
more pressure
yeah.
you put on someone,
Okay, in some degree, yes, though, because I feel like there
the
is
cooler
gonna be-
you are, especially with girls, the cooler you are with girls, the more receptive they are to that. You gotta keep.
But then it has to be real though, because there's a whole
That's what I'm
thing
saying.
of
being cool when you're not cool is also not as a thing. I get that.
Wait, there's
But
a
we're
whole
getting
thing.
off
There's
the
a whole
beaten
no, wait,
path.
wait,
This
that-
is not a dating episode.
Wait,
Yeah,
no,
we can-
but there's a
I
whole
think
thing
that's-
of what though? I just want to hear that one. What are you gonna say with that?
the whole thing of, it's one thing to like know in your mind, okay, well, I don't need to be, or come off this certain way, or I just need to play it cool. But then all of a sudden you start thinking about it, and so you're like, oh, well, I'm not going to respond for 2 hours or 2 days, so then that way it seems like I don't care. So then you have like this whole internal dialogue.
It's like psyching yourself out. Kind of.
Yeah, you do a bunch of stuff that then what ends up happening is then it's like too many mind games, and then you don't end up any better, and then you end up just worrying, you know?
Hold on. We have a guest caller. Hey, Dad. It's my dad. We're recording the podcast. There's Will.
Hello.
Happy New Year, Mr. Mizra.
Say something to the podcast.
Okay, why don't you guys record and call me later, but not later than 10:30 my time.
All right.
Perfect.
Thanks
Fair
for
enough.
calling
He's
in.
setting a goal.
All right.
He's setting a goal.
We're
You see
talking
that?
about we're talking about New Year's goals right now.
Goals are, why make goals? Because nobody keeps them.
Yeah. Okay.
Exactly.
Some of us.
Yeah, that's
Some of us.
All right, I love you. I'll call you later.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.
So
Okay.
I think that does get.
That was
So
good.
let's talk. Okay.
So
You
that,
see
that
that?
covered that, right?
All right.
turn.
So we're talking
Yeah.
goals here, right? We were talking a little about dating and whatnot. I challenge you guys to write down your goals. I think you guys should set goals for what you want to accomplish in this year. And the fun thing about that is at the end of the year, you can see if you attained or which of those goals you actually attained. But the most important part of setting the goals is actually writing them down. Because if you don't write them down, you're not going to actually remember what those goals were. I write them down every year. I have them in my notes. Let me see if I have. Let me see if I
Wait,
actually...
so Will, have you set any goals this year?
Actually,
hear about
so
you.
in the past, I have not really set goals. It's kind of been a whole thing, even with like budget or anything career driven. There's stuff that I have in my mind, but I haven't been so specific to like write stuff down and give myself any kind of time frame, which I think is important. So one thing.
It's the most important part about
Yeah.
goals is writing them down. You know that,
Well,
right?
it's everything. It gets back to that SMART, which we'll get to that.
Stop talking about my SMART. It's my SMART though.
Okay, it's his SMART
It's
because
mine.
he.
I was taught as a
learned
young
it first,
kid.
and that means he has dominion over.
Yeah. How do you know about
That's how it
SMART
goes.
though?
It's come up a lot in my career where when you're writing goals for yourself, they're like make sure that they're SMART goals.
Okay.
So just
Which
real
you've
quick.
never written.
Yes, I have.
So you have written goals.
Yes, career wise, but not personal.
What is this, a goals trial right now? Wait, so you have the defendant has written goals? Your Honor, I would like to put that in the record.
I interview people for
Yeah.
a living.
So
You are,
Neil,
yeah, that is your style.
What does that stand? SMART is specific, measurable.
Haha.
All right. As a kid,
Naha.
I was 13 years old. As a tennis player.
We should put in some of the music.
Tennis
I-
prodigy.
should
No,
put in
no
the music
music.
from
No,
the-
no, no. No, there's
Dun, 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 dun,
no
dun.
on Neil's Got Issues. We have something about the music, and you're gonna like it.
Yeah?
It's a good one.
Yeah.
So I swear to God, I'm not even messing with you. I'm serious.
I
So-
love it already.
SMART. What does it stand for?
As a kid, my tennis coaches were always telling me, Neil, if you want to be a good tennis player, you need to have goals for yourself. And the best way you can set your goals, Pedro Gonzalo, they always told me, you need to follow the SMART system. And I said, well, what's a SMART system?
And what did they say?
They said, SMART is an acronym.
Uh-huh.
They need to be specific goals.
That's words that mean a word. Acronym.
What? Okay, so they need
Grammar
to be
goals,
specific.
ladies and gentlemen.
They need to be
Letter,
specific.
no, that's letters that mean a word.
Should we put the specific acronym?
I think
that
so.
was
On
hard.
editing,
Yeah.
SMART.
S-M-A-R-T.
SMART. Specific. Measurable.
M.
All right. Attainable.
A.
All right. Relevant.
R.
Time bound.
T.
All right. Do you guys understand each one of those? Why they're
Yes.
important?
Yes.
Specific. Because
So-
you got to be specific about your
Yeah,
goals.
you don't wanna- you don't-
Measurable. Because
Okay.
you got to know if you achieved them or not.
No.
Actionable,
Because you got to
'cause you
know
gotta
if
be
you
able to
achieved them
do
or not.
something.
Measurable. No.
Reactionable.
No, relevant.
Because you got to be relevant. And T,
Time
because
bound.
baby, we only got so long to live in this world.
That was atrociously bad.
Okay, well you explain it then.
Atrociously
All right,
bad.
I
So
mean,
it's, obviously, if you need.
you think you're smarter than me? Then you
No,
explain
it just helps you set your goals, right? Because some people when they're setting their goals, they're vague. They don't set they don't set a time limit to when they're gonna achieve their goals.
And to be honest, like I understand where this comes from. My goal for myself does not fit into that SMART way of thinking. So like my goal for myself, what I've noticed talking with my girlfriend and then also just with my friends and family, it's been kind of a recurring thing that I feel that I give my loved ones like not enough credit or not enough I'm like too impatient with people that I actually care about. When it's like a stranger, then I can be super empathetic and patient with whatever they're talking about and not really have to be in control. But there's been like certain conversations with
wait, you agree with that?
Yes.
with
Are you
yeah
kidding me?
my girlfriend
This
or
guy?
friends or family, where then I feel like I'm always trying to be in control, always trying
No, just
to
impatient.
well, impatient, and
Like,
that's
get
what
to
it
the
came
point,
to.
and when
Yeah.
you're listening to like a homeless dude, you could take 3 days and you would
Yes.
listen to the whole story. Yeah.
Yes, and so
He's like, and then I took the bus from here to here, and I need to take it.
Yeah,
really
Will
easy."
would sit there and
Yeah.
go on.
but then like my mom or dad calls me up for some like internet thing or their iPod isn't working, and
Who
then
told you
it's
this?
everyone. Well, it came up
Someone
with
specifically told you.
well, it's come up multiple times throughout the like. I've heard it from my parents before. I've heard it from my sister. Because then it's the same thing where then I show up and then for a little bit of time, then they were just feeling like they were on edge around me. Because then they thought that I was always like going to be critical or
All right.
like try and do stuff. And
All
then
right.
I heard it
I
from
think
Wait,
a lot
so
of
is this
listeners.
your
Wait.
goal? Yes.
A lot of people. I think a lot of people can relate to this because a lot of people probably listening to this are in their late 20s, early 30s. Do you guys get impatient with your parents
I just
when
said
they're
that.
calling? I know. Will you shut up? Again, my perfect point. You're not fucking patient. Let me finish.
You're doing the
You're
thing.
doing the
You're
thing that you always do.
But it's like you're
Golly.
repeating.
No, I'm not. You didn't let me finish.
Oh, so are you going
Do
to
you guys get impatient with your parents when they call and they need IT issues? When they're calling, they're like, "Hey, I need you. I can't get my computer to start. I need to do this." Do you guys get like
A little
more
bit.
impatient than with someone else would call that you don't really know when they need help with their IT? Would you?
Yes.
Would you be more impatient with them?
Yes,
How do you
definitely.
guys handle it? Because I feel like I get upset with them. Like I'm like, oh my god.
You
like,
know what helped
you
with
guys
that?
are so
you know
bad
what
at
helped
this.
with that? Being a computer programmer. Because
Yeah.
like you learn to just like you learn to like work. You have to be so patient with people using software that you're just like click on the button. To the top left of the screen, there's a file menu. Click on the file menu. Do you see the file menu? It is next to edit. Click on
Yeah.
file. Go down. Scroll down. The fifth option will be this. So you just
But what if I'm
you
not
just
a
become a
computer
robot.
Okay, so
Well,
what
You
if
just
I'm-
take you just become basically like click on the file menu. Click on the file. Like you become like a robot to them, and then it's like you will see this choice. Click on that
So
choice.
become like a
How do you-
robot? Is that what
algorithm?
you're saying?
You
You
have to
basically-
become an
you
algorithm
basically
to go
just
down
like-
any step.
You just basically look at it as like it's just like this video game you're playing, and they're the controller, and you're like click on this, and you break it down
Yeah.
to the smallest steps ever. Like do you see a word that says download? Do you see an underlined word that says download? Do you see an underlined word in blue that says download?
It's
Doesn't
a
it
lot-
boggle
it's-
your brain
no.
that they don't get it though?
Well,
like
no,
it's so easy.
It's two different things though, because
Well,
sometimes
people don't know programming, and I do. So it's
Well,
like
for me-
I
but
think the
isn't
same
it
thing about
common
that.
sense when you see your parents like
No, it's not common sense.
it's not. And I
It's
think
learned. It's all
a
learned.
lot of it too, which is hard, is it's one thing if you have a screen in front of you and you're just trying to replicate it on your own. For me, I don't know a lot of the, like my parents call me about Apple products, which I don't really, I have a Mac, but I don't really have an iPhone. So then they're trying to ask me how to do stuff. I'm like, well, I don't know. So then I'm trying to like walk through how to do stuff on a device that I can't see, that I'm not familiar
I
with.
was Googling.
So then,
I was Googling.
yeah,
Okay.
and that
but
that
he
would
doesn't
make
have
sense
an
too.
iPhone. He doesn't
But you
have
could
I
still
Google like how do you do
Google.
this
When
on
are you
iPhone?
gonna get rid of the Google phone, dude?
It's fine.
Like, how are you? When are you just gonna give up on not following Apple? Like, why don't you
No,
just
I
get on
had-
the Apple?
I had
I feel like
It
iPhone
was-
is the
it
one
was-
true phone. iPhone is
Apple.
How do you
phone.
not
The
give
only
up on it?
reason. There's no reason. Like if this
There's
phone
no
dies,
reason? What do you
if
mean?
this phone dies, then I'll get one. But the whole reason why I
It's
went
dead.
to Google, it's not dead. The whole reason
It's a
why
zombie
I
phone.
switched from Apple, I used to have Apple
I
products,
know.
is too expensive. They're trying to charge ridiculous amount.
Google
for
phone's
whatever.
expensive.
It is, but it's not the
You
same
just
kind of thing.
contradict yourself then.
I mean, no, it's not
You
as
did. You just said
expensive.
it's
Okay, wait. Who cares if
Yeah,
you're thinking
exactly.
about phones? Wait,
Let's get back
let's
to-
go back to Will's goal.
Yeah.
Okay, so I think we should actually try to be accountable to these goals on the podcast to the listeners.
No, you should
So,
write them down.
Your
I'm-
goals,
but
we already
I
know
wrote-
your goals.
What are my goals? I haven't
There's-
written mine for this year.
Yes,
you just
we
said
do.
you want a girlfriend.
You want a girlfriend,
And
you
you
want
wanna
to stop
stop- That I can
gambling, and
take
you want to
off.
get your elbow fixed.
And my shoulder.
And your shoulder.
But
okay,
can
that's-
I
okay,
just
wait,
say one
no,
thing? No. Let me say one thing. You don't want to sit here when you write a goal.
We're gonna
we're
write
going
them
back
on
to
the
the
screen.
SMART. We're going back to the SMART thing. You don't sit here and say, "I want to be healthy," because that doesn't fit the SMART system. Do you see how I'm saying I'm going to get my
It's
shoulder
specific.
fixed? I'm going to get my elbow fixed. I'm going to
It's
be
measurable.
independent. It's measurable. You don't
It's
sit here.
relevant for
Action,
sure.
It's
actionable.
relevant.
Actionable.
There's no actionable.
What's A?
Attainable.
Oh,
And it is attainable through surgery.
Yeah.
and it's
And which I'm getting.
It's
Which I'm
relevant.
getting.
Relevant.
Relevant. It's relevant.
Relevant. So there are things I'm doing to make these
Time.
this goal
Time-based.
time bound. These things are going to happen within the year. So it makes it all worthwhile and it makes it work.
But that's what I was initially saying. How do I fit mine into
Wait, so
that?
yeah, wait,
well, when
so what's
someone
your
says
goal?
I'm I know there are people out there
Your
like
goal is
my goal
to-
is to lose weight. That's a terrible goal.
It's
No, but
not
but
unless
take
you
Will's
say I
example.
Losing
I want to
20
lose
pounds.
50. Yes, exactly.
We'll take Will's example.
What's
Will's example?
So his is about patience,
Oh, I see you's about to.
right?
Yes.
Okay, give the general theme and we'll try to move it into SMART.
That is what it is. It's about being more patient and empathetic with the people closest to me than, and yeah, less controlling.
But what is it that makes you feel like, what are you experiencing when they're experiencing you rushing them? What are you experiencing? Do you know what I'm saying? Like, they're telling you, change what about you? And you're like, oh, I
It's
feel this
more
way
about,
when they're doing it. So that's
it's
why I
more
wanna
that
change.
now looking back, I realize that that's like how I have interacted, and that I just want to change that to be like a better version of myself.
But okay, so you're changing what about yourself? Is it patience?
Yes, patience.
You think
Sure,
you're
we'll say that.
impatient?
Yes.
Okay, and why are you impatient? Okay.
Because it's something to do with,
I'm saying like
it's
what-
like
yeah.
I'm trying to be, or like it comes down to me just wanting to like do stuff myself, or if someone fails, I want that to be on me and not on someone else. Like I don't want to have that like I told you so kind of thing. Like, oh well, you want to do that? Well, just let me do it. Or I get like really impatient in those kinds of.
Okay, so
All right, so I think that's pretty specific.
there's an
You
example-
don't, it doesn't.
yeah.
It doesn't. I don't think there's anything measurable.
well, no,
there.
that's what I was gonna get to.
Exactly.
Is like
It's
not-
no,
have
there
to-
is because you
What
could
is
say
it?
you could say. I was gonna say, give me an example of when you did that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and then you could think of times that you would know when you didn't do it when you wanted to, and
Yes.
you could measure like.
How many times? Yeah, and I've already came up
see
with.
what
I
I'm
don't
saying?
think you can put a number on
You
it.
can't put a
But
number,
you
but
could
you
put a
also
general-
understand when you're controlling yourself. And what
Right.
I've found out is like,
Exactly.
or what I want, my goal is when I am getting impatient or feel like I want to be doing something, to just like take a deep breath, just pause for a second, think about what's happening, and then kind of reevaluate
And then
move on
tally
from there.
it. And then this is what you could do.
But
This is what you could do. You
okay.
could tally it, and then you could see, okay, I got 3 tallies this week. But then if you got 5 tallies the next week, then you're making more progress.
But it also
It's
comes down
situational,
to
it's contextual,
exactly,
right?
and it's like you
That's
could
right.
have a conversation for a month with someone and it not come up, or it could come up once and it could be a big deal. So it's a whole. That's why I don't think it fits in the same system, but I think I can still attain that. It's just more about being conscious. Conscious? Is that the word? Well,
Aware,
intentional.
aware.
Yeah, intentional and
Conscious.
aware. Conscious.
That's a tough one, though, because I feel like the only way you, like,
Doesn't necessarily
somebody-
have to just okay. With the SMART system, it doesn't have to be the entire 5 acronyms. It can be 2 or 3.
Yeah.
You just
It
want
could
to
be
try to
art. It could just
attain
be. Sometimes it's smart. Sometimes it's art.
Yeah.
You know.
Sometimes it's fart.
But there's no F.
No.
That was not funny either.
Sometimes it's TRS.
I think mine.
CERT.
Yeah.
Mine, mine is gonna be.
Sometimes
it's. Can we stop that? Mine's going to be. It's specific.
It's old tarts.
It's specific. It's attainable, and it's relevant. But
Okay.
that's
enough.
Measurable is like the most important
Bravo.
one.
Yeah.
Measurable.
He's done it.
Measurable is the most important one, though.
According to
I
who?
think-
Are you the creator of the
No,
SMART
because
system?
think if you can't, how do you if you don't know whether you've how
The
do you
man
know
wants
if
to
it's
be more patient. Let him be more patient. Bravo, Will. I think it's good. You figure out when you
Why
want
are
to
you
be more
clapping?
patient because
Why are you clapping?
he's done it. Any other goals you want to set?
That's pretty much it.
That's it?
Yeah.
I like this goal.
That's
Neil.
the only goal?
I like this goal. Why are you turning it into an interrogation again?
That's the only goal?
Yeah, that's what I said. I
Come
don't
on.
really. In the past years, I haven't
That's
really.
it?
Yeah,
That's
I mean,
good, though.
career-wise, I could say
good, though?
save more money. I already feel like I do a
No,
pretty good job on a
boring.
lot of this
Save
stuff.
Those
more
are
money,
smart
boring.
goals. They have to be smart goals.
You
now.
could say save an extra $1,000 a month.
I think you should
But-
spend more money.
Funny joke.
That's funny.
The physical, I could
No.
possibly just
What?
try and work
No,
out
I'm saying.
more every day.
No, but
Work
those
out
aren't
more is
smart.
a-
These
is
aren't
not
smart
a
goals.
good goal. Work out more is not a smart goal.
I know. Well, I would make it specific. It would be, I would like to do
6-pack.
50.
Getting a
No,
6-pack is a
no,
smart
I don't
goal.
like that. I know, but
Ooh, that's
one,
my goal.
one could
That's
be,
my goal. 6-pack, baby.
Mine
said
You're
could
gonna
just
see
be. It doesn't need to,
fucking abs on abs.
You
baby.
said
That's
it
fine.
though, but
That's
this
my
is not
goal.
like it's not a game.
Baby,
Do you think it's
we're
attainable?
not playing.
Do you actually think it's attainable?
100%.
Is it?
Yeah. Oh, 100%.
You think you can do it? Have you ever had one before? Do you know how to get one?
Oh, I know how to get one.
Do you?
Yeah. You do you do lower abs, you do upper abs, you do V-sits, you hold your feet 6 inches off the ground, you do flutter kicks, you do mountain climbers.
Yeah.
There's a lot.
Any other goals you like to? Just 6-pack?
I mean, 6-pack would be amazing. That is a goal though, for sure. That's the only part of my body that I don't like, my stomach. Really. So that's a goal. That's smart. I want to save at least $20,000 this year. I think that's measurable, right?
Yeah,
That's
say
a lot of
$20,000.
money.
Well, I got to like 19.5 last
Do you
year.
want to
That's
save
impressive. That's
I got to
And-
19.5 last year, and I was
and-
like, I need to hit 20, at least
in
20
cash and what? How so?
next year. Cash. Well, that's the thing
How
because
so? That's not you weren't very descriptive.
well, no, I could roll the dice like you and jump into some stocks, you know.
No,
No.
that's not what you said though.
Well, I want to save at least 20,000.
But you could
That's-
save 20,000 so different.
Okay,
so
tell
many
me
different
where
ways.
am I M?
You're telling
talking
me
about M or
it's
are we
not
talking
my
about R?
goal.
No, but you're trying to get too specific before. Like I'm saying, be healthier, and it could come down to
There's- you
doing.
can
Can you
form-
let me finish? Thank you.
You're not being very patient.
I know because you're trying to interrupt me.
He thinks he's so smart now. He's got
Yeah.
smart fucking.
Because it
smart
could come
goals.
down to
I'm
just
the
saying,
creator of the
I
smart
want to
system.
do 50 air squats a day. And that could be for a month. I did that for a little bit with push-ups.
Air squats.
Yeah.
Are those like jump squats? You mean?
No, just like like you just not have weight.
Oh,
You're not
no
sitting
resistance.
on anything.
Just
Yes,
like body
yeah.
weight squat. Okay.
Body weights.
Yeah.
So, but then
That's a
with that, I mean, it's very easy. If he's setting $20,000, then you start to break it down further. So 20,000 divided by 12. Quick math.
1,500.
Yes. So I need to save
He said
1,000.
yes. He doesn't know.
I don't know.
He just said yes so confident.
1,750.
1,750.
Yes, and he's wrong.
So then,
That's right.
then all of a sudden you know that okay, well then this is what I need to save a month. Then this is
Right.
what I need, and then you know what you're getting on a paycheck. So I need to put away X amount. So then it becomes very smart.
Well,
So-
actually, yeah. For me, I don't even want to put away. I want to actually, like,
in
Are you
By
fact.
any
talking
case,
net
by any-
worth?
yeah.
Are you talking net worth where you're saving like 401k,
I
cash,
am saying-
combination? Are you saving cash in my savings account, 20,000?
Not
What is
including
it?
401k. 401k to me is like doesn't even exist. I just contribute to it. I don't think about it.
Well, that's saving, believe it or not. So
Yeah,
But
but,
he's
I'm
saying in
saying
this
like
context.
20,000 liquid that I could liquidate without
Okay.
any penalties. So if you can
So in
liquidate
your
your
savings,
401k,
so
20,000
your
401k,
savings
60,000.
account. So your savings account, you want 20,000 saved.
Not
In
necessarily.
stocks as
I
well,
think I might
right?
jump into some more stocks because I saved almost my goal for 2019, right?
Okay.
So then I think, oh, you know what? I could this year since I've already have like a good cushion of the emergency fund. We talked about the financial, episode, but basically, like having an emergency fund was my goal, and now I have an emergency fund. So I can start moving money into a little bit more risky asset because savings account is the least risky asset ever. You might even lose money by saving money. So the goal is to just accumulate $20,000 through any liquid source of like any account, account that I can withdraw from.
That sounds pretty smart to me.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's the
Off air, we'll talk stocks off air.
yeah.
But okay, I just because the first letter of the acronym SMART is specific.
Mhm. That's pretty specific though.
20,000 in a year.
We developed it. It's
Yeah.
accumulate 20,000 per year over the course of the year, at least $20,000 in any liquid account,
Liquid form.
liquid form. yeah.
Okay. Fair enough. Fair enough. Do you guys have anything else to add in regards to setting goals?
Forgetting goals.
What do you mean forgetting
I
goals?
think
Like set it
I
and
think
forget
a
it.
part of that I would say it should
Okay,
be like
Ron.
it should be Smart A or something where
What does that
the accountability aspect I think is very important. So even bringing it up to friends I think holds you a little bit more accountable, right?
Smarter. I think we've
Smarter.
invented a new system. Smarter.
Okay,
This
if you want to
is
make
smarter.
okay, you want to make yourself accountable. I know.
You put it
We're
out
accountable to the pod now.
and to each other.
Yeah. Okay. There's also where you write it on like a notepad or you write it on a list, and I know where people like put a little piece of tape and they put it on their mirror,
Sure.
like your bathroom mirror,
Or
where you see
dream
it
boards.
every
People
day.
do dream boards.
What's a dream board?
It's a little bit more of a quasi goal setting thing where you put images out there.
It's a dream
So-
board. You know what a dream board is?
Yeah,
Dude?
you
Come
put
on.
like a money, you
You
put a
can't
beach.
you can't imagine what a dream board is just from hearing that term.
I just think of a.
Like a vision
bo-
board or a vision
it-
board.
yeah, all
What's
the same
that
thing.
board where you're like everyone
That's
puts
a
their hands
Ouija
on?
board.
Ouija
That's
board?
what I think
No,
of.
so
Some hippie
Neil,
shit.
this
It
is
is hippie shit, but it's not demonic
Neil.
like that.
No. When I think of hippie shit, I
Neil.
don't think of setting goals.
it's
I think of the opposite.
Neil.
What?
It's where you put pictures of what you want to attain. So if that's you dancing, you have a picture. If it's vacation, you have a picture of a beach. And it's just a board that has all these images that then you have in your living room or in your bedroom that you look at on a daily basis. And so it's
Right.
like that whole visualization
Right.
techniques
So,
of where
you're visualizing is the same thing as putting something on your bathroom mirror where you read it every day.
Yes.
It's the same thing. You're
But
looking at
to
it,
me,
reading
that's
it,
not
and
as-
visualizing.
I mean, it could help a
You're
little
looking
bit,
at it.
but
We
it's
should
not
make
the same
dream
as smart.
boards, and we should show
Oh.
them on the podcast, on the social media. We should show our dream
I
boards for
forgot-
these goals, which could be funny, but also work.
I forgot about Neil's Got Issues.
Wait,
Yeah.
I've totally.
I have a
forgot.
Ouija board story though that you
Okay.
reminded me that I want to tell.
Have you guys ever done a Ouija board?
No.
No.
Okay.
Well, it's a
This
long
is a good
so
story
won't
though. I
tell
heard it from this guy who I met, this Muslim guy who I met in Oregon, and he said that he used to live in Orange County, which is a weird place. I've heard.
Orange County?
Orange.
Yeah.
In California?
Orange?
I said Orange County, dude.
No, I didn't
Orange
hear you.
County.
Orange County in California?
Orange County.
Orange County.
Orange County. Yeah.
California?
Orange County or Orange County? What do you guys say? Is it orange or orange?
What
Please write
state?
in. California.
Orange. My uncle lives there.
Okay, he lives in Orange.
Yeah, Orange
They
County.
call it Orange sometimes.
All right, so what's this Ouija story?
Yeah, I know. That was really important.
Okay.
Sometimes the impatience pays off.
Will just fucking his dream board just got a little bit bigger. You know what I mean? He's a little bit farther away from his dreams. So anyway, I had this Get your phone out of your hand.
It's for
He's looking for
the
the Neil's got issues.
I hurt my elbow.
Oh, sorry. I'm sorry.
Wow.
And Neil's a little farther away from his goal.
Wow.
I'm sorry, Neil. I'm so sorry. I'm really sorry, dude.
Take another sip so then you can be a little bit farther away from your goals too.
What was my goal? Oh, six pack? I was thinking, how do I do that? I was like,
Okay.
I'm sorry, man. How's your elbow?
It hurts.
You should probably get surgery.
Yeah, I am.
Dude, you should get an MRI.
I am.
I'm sorry.
Part of my goals.
I'm sorry. I feel bad. This is real. This is real. This isn't a bit that we're doing right now.
I
Ouija
know. Can
board.
you tell your story?
Yes.
Okay.
Maybe his goal should be maybe a little more patient too. So the guy knew this guy who lived in Orange County. Wow. No.
I'm gonna wapal you in the face.
So he knew somebody who lived in Orange County, right? And he said the guy's mom had like. You about to wapal the microphone right off the table. So he said that he lived in Orange County, right? And his mom had this weird house where there was all this like occultic, demonic type of stuff, right? And so this is kind of like in like Muslim lore, there's something called a Kareem, which is a spirit.
Okay.
And that spirit, it follows you your entire life. And it watches everything you do, right? Mm-hmm. And it basically watches all the bad stuff you do and remembers all the bad stuff you do, right? Okay. And he said, so this guy had a Ouija board, right? And he had his mom had all this weird like demonic stuff. Should I hit his?
No.
Yeah. Okay.
And so they took the Ouija board and they put it on top of this like weird like pentagram table, and then they started doing Ouija stuff. And so what he was saying is like
him and his mom.
No. My friend started doing this with the guy who lived there. Sorry if I didn't make that clear. So my friend or acquaintance who I knew, he went to this guy's house whose mom had all this occultic stuff, and so they took out a Ouija board.
It was him and a guy that lived there.
The guy went to his friend's house, his friend's mom's house. His friend's mom's house had a lot of weird stuff in it.
So it was him and the guy that lived there.
2 friends.
That was it.
In a house.
Just 2 guys. 2 guys in a Ouija board.
This is a really good story.
Okay.
2 guys in a house with a Ouija board.
Yeah.
There's demonic stuff everywhere.
Yeah, so it was only 2 of them.
And they were in Orange County.
Yeah, in a Ouija board.
This is the best story ever, though. What are you looking up on
Just
your phone?
what happened?
They started doing Ouija board, right?
Okay.
The guy and his friend in the house in Orange County, at the mom's house with the occultic demonic stuff. They start doing the Ouija board. And he said that he started like communicating with spirits, but in Arabic.
What did he ask?
Kubide?
He asked stuff about his friend, and the spirits gave him the answer. And
what friend?
The friend who was doing the Ouija board with him. Dude.
He asked questions about
his... Is Neil having a stroke right now?
So wait a minute. He asked questions.
2 guys.
I get it, Will. He asked questions about the friend who was also using the Ouija board.
Mm-hmm.
Why would he ask questions about a friend who's sitting next to him? The friend is also controlling the Ouija board.
I don't remember exactly how, but I remember they invited over a bunch of friends.
That's like, hey, what's my friend's name? And you're controlling the Ouija board, and you can move it to the W. These guys stink.
Okay.
So let's hear the rest of it, because I'm sure it's going to get really good.
I don't like this story.
Wow, dude.
You asked the question. Okay.
The story killer over here.
I have...
This guy just lets you get through 3 sentences of a story.
Go ahead.
He sits there and he's like, what time and date were they doing this on? Was it raining outside when they did
What
this?
was the specific question
So
they asked?
So there were 2 guys. How old were they? Were they males? Approximately 13.
So they asked questions about the one guy that's
they had another guy in the room or something, dude. They asked questions.
Now there's another guy that's there.
So there's 2 guys and they have a Ouija board.
Yeah.
And what they do is they eventually have a bunch of friends in a room, right?
Yeah.
And they start asking, the guy would ask the room, hey, give me a question to ask the board. Mm-hmm. And let's say the person says, what's my, okay, you know what I realize this fucking is? He doesn't believe in the paranormal. This guy doesn't believe in the paranormal, and so he's trying to undercut my story before I even say it.
Well, let's hear it, and then let's undercut it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So there's a crowded room, right, of kids, right? They're teenagers. They're just fucking around. His mom has all this demonic shit. He puts the Ouija board on. He goes, tell me the name. And then the kid, he goes, ask me a question and I'll ask the spirits. Right? And he's moving the Ouija board around and he goes, and someone goes, tell me the name of your dead grandmother. Of my dead grandmother or whatever. And then the kid, he's, Doris. And then the kid sits there like starts crying because it is Doris or whatever. And so he says he's able to talk to these spirits through the Ouija board, and he's like, I basically was able to communicate with them because there are these spirits in the Quran called jinn. And the jinn, the Qareen, actually follows you around. And so he's like, I would ask in Arabic in my head to that person's Qareen, and I would hear a voice in my head that told me the answer, and I would be able to tell the person the answer when I was like using this weird demonic like table with the Ouija board. And so he said like it got to the point where like every weekend they would do this and kids would come over, 20 kids, like it's like an audience of kids sitting around, and he was able to accurately fucking tell, and they were like, oh my god, dude, like, because he said that he knew the Quran, he knew the whole Quran, this guy. So he said when the demons would like kind of try to scare him, he would be like, we're just telling them things from the Quran, and what was that?
What's that?
And the jinn coming for us.
Doris!
Get the tonic! Get the tonic!
Was that fucking Doris?
DJINN. Look them up. That's the ghost in Islam. So he said eventually what happened, why he stopped doing it was because he, like one time he felt this presence of a jinn that was like different than the others. And he tried to use the Quran to basically ward it off. And then he said in his head, the jinn said, you're using black magic, so your God doesn't support you anymore. I'm not afraid of you using the Quran against me. I'm going to kill you tonight. You're going to die tonight. And he said he was sitting around the Ouija board and he was doing like his normal thing of like asking spirits. And then he got this weird feeling like he was going to black out. And he's like sitting there and he said like, I couldn't talk and I was kind of like, And he's like, all the faces of the kids started looking like demons, laughing at me with like big mouths, and nobody could like tell that I was suffering. And he said, at that point, I just prayed, please God, I'll never do this again. I'll never use the Ouija board for like black magic again. And then he said like this feeling rushed over him that he felt better, and then he just basically left the house and was like, I'll never do this again. And he said at one point when they did it, they saw some weird mist go across the room when they were doing the Ouija board in the house.
Alright,
so
this is a good time to transition to Neil's guidance.
Yeah, I got two things to say about that though.
Yeah.
It's
not, dude. Because he doesn't believe in the paranormal.
I got a lot.
And
let's turn his microphone.
I got
I'm
a
muting
lot.
you now.
Don't mute me.
You're done, dude. He's muted.
Did you actually mute him?
The thing, I don't know. Like
You don't believe it?
I think it's somewhat nice to believe those kinds of things and somewhat scary. But then, like, there was a guy back in the 70s who would go through and disprove people. And I don't have anything to tell you to look up on YouTube, but it was just like this old guy. And I remember he had this white beard.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. He's a famous, he's a skeptic, they call him.
Yes.
He's like a famous skeptic.
And
he's had some weird issues, but yeah.
Sure. And then there's been a lot of stuff around, like, the Ouija board. Like, if you close people's eyes and they do it, all of a sudden gibberish. But then if they're open and then, I don't know. There's a lot that goes into it. And to me, it could just be some guy either legit has those powers and was connecting to something else, or wanted people to be engaged and came up with a really cool story.
Well, he thought it was the table that they were using. He said that table felt really weird, and it was like an octagon. It had this like these compartments, so it was just weird.
And so then that was the other thing I want to get into, which is a little bit. It was something that like for the longest time I thought like, well, still the idea of there being a devil is like the scariest thing to me, and so I hate those kind of supernatural movies. But then I think it was on Reddit, what the actual like satanic temples, they call them these fundamental tenets. And I don't know, I guess I had this whole stigma growing up that like it's these horrible people with bad things. And then I read this and I'm like, oh shit, well,
yeah, but that's not they're just the satanic church, right?
Yes.
They're not the real devil. Like,
no.
They're not worshiping the real devil.
But then people, no.
Oh, okay.
So, like,
I think it's different.
a couple of, well, I'm not actually going to go into these because we can look at this later. But once you start to read these 7 fundamental tenets.
Just throw out like 1 or 2.
Okay, the first
2 or
one.
3.
One should strive to act with compassion and empathy towards all creatures in accordance with reason.
That doesn't sound like the devil.
That sounds pretty reasonable to me.
This sounds like they're Christians who were like, we want to get the edgy Christians to be Christians too, so we'll like...
Well, that doesn't... What was wrong with that?
Nothing. That's what I'm saying. All of these things, to me, make a lot of sense.
It's not like that came out of the Bible.
Yeah,
The struggle...
exactly.
So here,
That's not the
let's
satanic,
just go
that's the
through
real,
these.
Is Will reading the Bible to us?
That could be
Is
the
Will trying to
Bible.
convert us?
The struggle for justice is an ongoing and necessary pursuit that should prevail over laws and institutions.
That sounds
Which
like the Bible again.
sounds great.
But
But
it
that's
sounds
not
like
the
the
Bible.
Bible.
Because the Bible would say, oh, well, you're not supposed to... gay
What
marriage.
does?
Gay marriage. Supposedly the Bible says it's
I didn't
anti-gay
ever
marriage.
gay marriage in
But
that.
then, because this thing says over laws and institutions. So the laws and institutions now say that gay marriage is bad, right? And this is saying
No,
justice should
it's
prevail
legal.
over
The laws
it.
and institutions say it's good because it's legal.
It's
now.
legal everywhere?
Okay, not in the world.
Okay.
Okay,
Not even in the
anyways.
United States.
It's gay marriage is
It is
legal
legal in the
everywhere
United
in the United States.
Naturally? Oh, I didn't know that. I thought that was by state. I really did.
It's United States.
I was like, wait a second. Wait, gay marriage is legal.
So, yeah.
You made
I'm
me
sorry.
doubt it for a
No,
second. I was like,
exactly.
wait a second. Am I wrong? Is gay marriage not legal?
Oh, okay. Here's another great one. One's body is inviolable. I don't even know that word. Inviolable, subject to one's own will alone.
That sounds like drug war and pro-abortion.
Yeah.
Right? That's pro-abortion.
So I'm not going to go through the rest of them. If those sounded interesting to you, I would recommend looking up these. Just to me, it would just like opened up my eyes that you hear all these bad things, and I'm sure there are definitely like maybe satanic people out there that are going into the dark arts that are not.
no,
going
he
for
wasn't a
people's best
satanic
will.
worshiper or anything.
I'm not. No,
Yeah.
he's not. But I'm saying there is evil in the world, and there are people that probably practice Satanism in a bad way. But
You think so?
whenever I read that, I'm like,
Sure.
that actually makes sense to me, or some of these make sense. And like their whole idea is, why should you have the 10 Commandments? And that was a whole thing in like Oklahoma or something. They had the 10 Commandments in front of the state capitol, and they said, well, my freedom of speech is just as valid as yours.
Yeah, see, this
And so they
sounds
got
like a
removed.
group of Christians who are
It is.
liberal.
But-
It's a very
It sounds like a
Alright.
liberal.
edgy.
I
blah,
don't.
blah,
I
blah.
don't understand how the Ouija board comes into play.
That's
why
what I-
did he-
yeah.
Why did he even need the Ouija board?
That's the one part of the
Exactly.
story where I feel
Yeah.
like he might have made it up.
That's where it doesn't.
Well, it
make-
becomes a
like-
good story, is what I initially
He didn't
said.
need the
you
Ouija
know?
board. He knew the.
If you
Well,
can
I
tell-
guess in his mind, it's an occultic object. Like he said, they had this occult table and they had all these like demonic things that
Yeah.
his mom had because she wasn't.
Just
I don't think
plays
she
into
was
the
part of
story.
like that group. I think what it was, she was actually
I
like
just don't.
she was more of a collector
The
of
Ouija-
weird objects, you know, and she
Yeah.
would collect like
And
occult
people like
objects.
to be edgy and have that whole like. I know people like that.
Just-
That's just it's weird for being weird, or it's like different to be different. and
That's what
not
it feels like,
necessarily
yeah.
Any power. I think you can put powers into or put anything. Like it could be this bottle. Oh well, this was my grandpa's bottle, and now it's haunted.
I think this kid got into this his own place.
You open this?
I think he got into his own place, and the Ouija board helped him go into his own place, and he started visualizing things, and he got into this whole state of mind, and it all played a role.
Sure.
And it all was one thing, and one thing led to another, and it got to, and it just got
Sure.
deeper and deeper and deeper, and that's what happened.
And I think there are
That's what I think. That's what
definitely
happened.
like mysteries of the
And
universe.
I don't think any of it even exists.
Yeah.
just to be
But you don't think there's
I knew he
mysteries
didn't
of the
believe in
universe?
paranormal. Neil does not believe in any of it.
Sure, maybe not paranormal, but
I don't
do
believe
you,
in-
do you
no,
believe
I
in
do.
miracles? Do you believe in angels? It's the
I
same
believe in
thing.
angels.
So then it's
No, it doesn't. It's not the same.
how's that not the same thing? That's
It's
a
too long.
paranormal.
We're past our
Okay,
time
let's
here
get
on this
into it then.
subject.
But I do think there are
Take
We
like,
it away.
we should do a religion.
Take it
episode,
away,
and we
Jay.
should do a politics.
Take
We
it
should
away,
do-
Jay.
not
Do
I
your
don't know
thing.
politics, but religion would be good.
Favorite segment. My favorite segment of the night.
Neil's got issues.
Do it, Jay.
Neil's got issues. Yeah.
All right, guys. This is a little bit of a long one tonight.
Did someone else really text you this, or is this something?
Yeah,
Because
I'm
if you
reading
brought
this.
this up, we're ending it here.
No, this
No,
is the real one.
I
From
just
a
saw,
real person.
This
Yeah, I
is a real
saw it on
person.
his phone. It's
He
like
could have
a
texted
message.
himself from another phone,
This
bro.
is
Yeah,
this is a real
that
one.
sounds realistic.
This is a real one. All right, ready?
Yes.
Get set.
Okay.
Go.
All right. Hey guys.
Hey.
It's just one. We just got one. Hey guys.
When he says guys, though, are these like two guys?
Hey guys. Big
And
fan.
wait, are they in Orange County?
Hey guys. Big fan of the show. I've seen every single one of your episodes on YouTube.
Props to you. Thanks for watching.
You wrote this to yourself.
I did not write
no,
this
just
to
let him
myself.
finish.
Your last episode of the marathon actually brought me to tears.
Was it the music and the editing?
The combination of the music
Yes.
Wow.
with actually seeing Neil complete a challenge was emotional.
I cried too. I cried like 40 times editing it.
For the record,
I cry a lot though.
I'm a Schneider writer.
Mhm.
And I'm respectfully asking for only Will and Jay's opinion to my issue, not Neil's.
Okay.
That being said,
Yeah, I mean, your opinion's not that valuable.
I've been dating my boyfriend for a few months now, and I've noticed that he has some drinking issues. I'm not much of a drinker myself, wine from time to time, but he gets drunk most of the times we spend together. I've talked to him about it, but it hasn't gotten any better. What do I do?
Okay.
What do you think, Will?
All right, let me start.
As we're drinking,
Your opinion doesn't matter.
Let me
can't-
start.
You can't say
Do I have to
anything,
mute your microphone again?
Okay,
right? You can't say
that's
anything.
fine.
You can start by saying which of us you want to answer
Yeah,
first.
that's a good.
You're the host of Neil's Got Issues.
All right, Jay, go ahead.
So, I think that thank you first for watching all the episodes. We appreciate it. I'm also a Schneider writer. I think Will and I are both Schneider writers. It's fair to say. But I also agree with you for not asking for Neil's opinion. I think Neil's opinion is useless, and I'm sure that if he could talk right now, he would disagree, but he can't because he's not allowed to talk because this is my opinion time.
So answer the question.
What I would say is this. What was the reason in the text message that they didn't like the drinking? Was there a reason? Or was it just that they get too
They
drunk?
just feel like they're drinking too much.
So is it a health... That's what I kind of am curious about.
Yeah.
Is it a health issue?
Is it an attitude thing? Is it
Right.
Is it how they're treating you? Is it how they're treating others?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Because I think that you could... I don't think people will really change unless there's a reason they want to change. Unless there's a goal. Hashtag goals. Like, if there's a goal that you have in mind of, like, you know what? I want to change this. Or I want to change something specific. Or I want to change something that I know I could change that would make me better. Because what I'm getting to is if your significant other boyfriend doesn't believe that drinking is a problem for them, then I don't think they're really going to change. They're just going to see you as a nag. Which, I'm sure you're not a nag. You're a fan of Who Invited Will, so you're probably an amazing...
Top quality person. For
very, healthy emotionally... very well adjusted, probably very successful. You probably make in the mid to high six figures range if you're a Who Invited Will listener. But they might not see the problem the way you do, you know, and probably they need to watch more of our episodes.
They've seen every episode.
The boyfriend.
The
I'm saying.
boyfriend needs
Oh.
to get
Yeah,
on.
the boyfriend, and
Needs
this
to
is
be
my
a Schneider writer.
Because if the boyfriend watched more Who Invited Will, he would understand how to manage his finances, for example, or possibly even be funny, or even complete a marathon in 8 hours. A lot of things that we could teach him, but
Set goals.
he could
To
set
not be an
he
alcoholic.
could set smart goals for himself. But if he doesn't think that's a problem, then it's gonna be really hard to convince him he needs to change. Other than the fact that, like, well, I love you and I want you to be different. But as you know, it's not that people change because of what you want them to do, is because they change because of what they want themselves to do or the things they want themselves. But I would say this: you lay out your concerns, whether it's health, whether it's behavioral, whether it's just a matter of spending too much time and energy and money into something that's not rewarding them, and you tell them, like, look, this is what I see, and then you ask them, how do you see the situation? And if they say, you know what, I think my drinking is problematic, then you can have a conversation. You can set some smart goals around that. Well, how about this? How about you just limit your drinking to 2 days a week? How about you limit your drinking to 1 day a week? How about we just have a night where we can go fucking crazy and get wasted, but you just commit to... Because that's what I did for myself.
She did.
I just said, Friday night is my night to get wasted, and I don't drink other nights of the week.
She did
hard,
say
you
that
know?
he's drunk
And I know it's
Every
Saturday,
time they
but
spend, most of the times they spend together.
But then is
So-
that
so
also
at the end of the day,
that's
you say-
relative too, right?
let's have a sober night. You
Does
start
that
with
mean-
sober night. You set the goal. You set the goal small. You say, let's have a night where we just neither of us drink and we do something else. Is that cool with you? And you start there. But if they don't think that it's, if they say, you know what, I'm not.
She's
drunk.
not drinking though. He's just getting drunk.
Well, what I'm saying is we both are. You don't have your glass of wine. I don't have my glass of whatever. I mean, you gotta make them feel like you're in it together, right? Will?
Sure. Yeah,
yeah.
I really think that's good advice. The only things I'd add to that, so it is very relative. So getting back to every time I see the person, it depends on what kind of relationship you have. Are you seeing the person only on weekends, or are you seeing them during the week? That you're seeing a 5. I know, and this is just rhetorical questions, right? That
It's sure you have the floor. Neil can't interrupt you by law. By who invited with law, Neil has to be quiet because that was what the listeners wanted.
not to say
it is a very difficult situation of trying to approach someone that you care about, and if you're seeing a problem, but then it's also like, again, it's relative. Maybe you don't drink, but maybe you have a different vice. I don't know if you smoke or do anything else, but there could be other vices that you have, or you could just not really enjoy
Be
being in an
empathetic
alternate
though
state.
that this might be something that's not about you and is really about their own way of dealing with things in life and processing. So,
But that's also like drinking is not. It's not a healthy coping mechanism. Let's just put.
but
that
I'm
out
saying
there.
it. But it sounds like it's not her coping mechanism, but it's his coping mechanism. So it might be attached to some deeper feelings he has
Sure.
than just putting a drink up. Maybe there's something else there baked into it emotionally, like it's giving him some release or it's giving
Sure.
him some escape. Because that's why I said you should really know, is this something they see as problematic? Because if he doesn't see it, if he thinks
he's not going to
drinking
change.
has worked for me,
Exactly.
awesome, I love being fucking wasted all the time. It is fucking the best thing ever. Then they're
Yeah.
not gonna see it
Yeah.
the same way.
If you're-
that's why I'm saying that.
She did
Exactly.
say she has talked to him.
And she has talked to him, and so then that's where I
Hasn't
think.
changed.
That's where I think you start to see a problem. That's that's really what I see an alcoholic is, or any kind of
Vice.
not vice, but
Addictive or
yeah,
addiction.
any kind of addiction is if your loved ones are coming up and telling you that they're having an issue with whatever you're doing, and you still continue to do the same thing.
Problematic outcomes. That's what my therapist would say.
Okay.
Like
so,
if something is like, you could be addicted to something, but if it isn't creating any problematic
Yes.
outcomes in your life, then you're not gonna stop because you're gonna be like, but
No.
I'm killing it. I'm my 401k is amazing. Like, you know what I mean? But like if you start having a situation where there are like problematic outcomes in your life and you still aren't changing, then that's when it's like an addiction you probably need to treat somehow, right? Like if you're losing your house, if you're drinking so much you're getting DUIs.
if your girlfriend is coming up to you
Exactly.
saying that
If
she
it's
has an
damaging-
issue with it,
If it's damaging your
Relationships.
relationship, if it's
Yeah.
damaging your support system, because now people are they feel like they need to come in and actually. So.
and as far as like an actionable thing that you could take, I really like that advice of, hey, how about we just have a sober night, or let's just try this out. I'm not saying that I want to control you in any kind of way or change who you are as a person, but I still think that we can have fun together. I enjoy your company, and really make it about your feelings and how you're feeling, and not like what they are doing.
Yeah.
If you word stuff of, I feel like when I'm around you and you're drinking all the time that I can't really connect
Right.
with you.
What is the problem? Is it that you can't connect with them because they're drinking and they're not present? You know.
Yes.
But really, how good is the dick, right? Because it's like, if it's great and they're super wasted, maybe you keep that, because when I get drunk, I can't really perform the same way that,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
I mean, it's just, when I get drunk, sometimes it's like, you know, it's Balloon Man at the fucking car wash. You know?
Wacky inflatable wave guy.
I'm wacky inflatable balloon,
wave
and
guy.
I'm just trying to have sex,
Yeah,
dude. I'm not
yeah.
trying to, like, sell tires. You know what I mean? No, but I expected something.
I'm very curious. I like that you're a Ryder Schneider. I guess this is.
Schneider Rider.
Oh.
Why do you keep
Ryder-
calling?
call her Ryder Schneider.
Well, you're borderline dyslexic, right?
Oh my
I don't know.
What is that? What is that?
Everyone
that a
messes
lot?
things up.
You call them Ryder Schneiders all the time.
Oh, that's just because I don't remember your stupid name that you created.
I didn't create
Last
it.
week, you didn't create that. All of a sudden, last week, the entire 2 seasons, we haven't had anything. And all of a sudden, Neil goes and I'm starting an interview and he brings up the Schneider Riders. And I'm saying,
You
in my
wanna know
head, what
something?
the fuck is this?
You wanna
I
know
hope
something?
we answered your issue though.
You want to know
To
something?
move on from Neil's got
You want to
issues.
know something?
What's up?
I got a text message a week ago.
From who?
From a
It
girl.
had to been
Wait,
longer
was it,
than a
was
week
it
ago.
2 girls?
This is another girl.
Were
This
they
is
in
in
Orange
Orange
County?
County. This is in Orange County.
Why did you guys both say that?
Because that's how you were when I was telling my story, dude. You
I
didn't
got a-
realize you were doing
I got
that?
a
It
message
was
from a
farther
girl.
than 2 weeks ago.
Do you know that there's? Do you know? I'm not even on Facebook. Do you know there's a
Yeah.
Neil Schneider fan club on Facebook?
Wow, dude. What do we need to do? That should be a check.
I didn't even know this.
They should be getting stimulus checks from the government.
Check Facebook.
Because if you're...
Maybe
Oh,
we
I-
can even put the fan page on
The-
a
the link?
screenshot of the
Well,
fan
wait,
page.
so what's the... Who's in it? Brad?
I don't know.
The dad?
I've never seen it.
Schneider shouts.
I'll
I'm just saying, someone
I'm gonna have to
watched
look
the
it up.
episode of the Schneider's Rider shit.
You created a Facebook group for
I
yourself?
didn't create it.
Look at his guilty smile.
I didn't.
He doesn't have
Look at his
Facebook.
guilty
I'm as surprised as anyone.
Huh.
Yeah.
I don't even have Facebook. I didn't create
There's
it.
a Schneider Riders fan club on
There's
Facebook,
a Neil Schneider fan club,
but not
Neil
Schneider
Schneider.
Riders.
but not Schneider.
But
Not that I know.
that's
of.
You
been-
really just
I
said
thought that's been there for a while. That was before the podcast. I remember a story of you telling me that there was a girl a woman that you played tennis with, and that when you met her at regionals in Alabama, that her and all the other
I can't
girls
take this
in like
serious
mixed
story.
doubles. Yes, this is
So
definitely
wait,
a story.
someone started a fan club of you when you were a tennis player?
Yes. It's probably 10 years old. I would almost.
You know what we
guarantee
should
it.
do? I
Let's
just
show
thought of
it.
the best challenge ever. Will and I play you 2-on-1 tennis.
Oh, you would get destroyed.
Yeah, right.
I
dude.
know I would.
We train. We
Mm.
train,
No, you would have
It's
no
hard.
chance.
I can't even get my
You would have no
racket.
chance.
I can't get my racket to the right
Y'all
side
would
of
lose.
the ball.
Y'all would win a point.
Okay, so then that
dude.
was
How about this if
another.
we win? Okay.
But
Give us
I'm
a
also
handicap.
hurt though.
Give us a handicap.
I can't play.
Wait,
though.
give us a handicap.
I
Play with your
honestly
other
can't
hand.
play. Left-handed? I would
Yeah.
beat you guys left-handed.
No way.
okay, come on.
No way.
I would beat you left-handed.
No.
No way.
Yes.
I think
No.
this is
Okay,
the next challenge.
Then that'd be fun.
Neil left-handed versus Will and I.
Left-handed. You think you're the
You think you're?
Yes,
that
I would
good?
beat you left-handed. Yes,
you know
I
what?
would, guys.
I haven't played tennis since I was 7. I'd probably beat you
I would beat
left-handed
you
alone.
There's 2 of us
Alone.
on the court.
Yes, I would beat you left-handed.
No, you know what? We're gonna
No.
find some. Of
I'm
those...
confident. I'm 100%. I'm not
Okay.
even. I would just hit topspin. You wouldn't even know what to do.
Oh, I'd bottom spin it, baby.
You
Right
need
back at
to.
you. Right back at you.
We
with the
could
bottom
try that,
spin.
but then that was something that we were discussing earlier. I know we're wrapping it up. If
It is
you guys
happening.
have any,
we're gonna
challenge-
beat the fuck out of Neil in tennis, and
It's-
he's gonna fucking know that we are better at tennis than him.
It's been pretty Neil.
Schneider Riders, unite.
It's look at the camera.
Unite.
It's been pretty Neil intensive on the challenges, which I think have been good. But if there's anything else, this is also Neil coming back at us. Besides beating us left-handed, is
All right,
there
you
anything that you think that we couldn't do
Run a
that you want to
marathon.
challenge?
No, we could both do that better than you.
Do a marathon. Do a marathon.
Just walk a marathon like
I
you?
didn't say.
That's nothing.
Is that what I
Straight
did,
up.
you fucker?
Hey, I was happy to hear that somebody else liked the music and actually got emotional
There
because
you
I
go.
did get emotional.
They
during
teared
that.
up.
I teared
Yeah.
up plenty
They
of
teared up.
times. I had to
Plenty?
put the music in. I teared up when the music was just playing and I wasn't even like watching
Yeah.
the video.
Thank you for
Someone
sending that
said-
in, though. That was a
someone
very
said-
That was a
good
great
question.
There was a parent
And I
that
hope
watched
that
the
helps.
show. There was a parent that watched the show. I'm not going to call him out, but he said that it would win an award if there wasn't so many curse words. That was.
Well, that's a heck of a compliment. I like that.
I don't think there's that many curse words, but
And we can bleep
anyway,
them out to get that award.
let's wrap it up, huh?
Yeah.
Good episode.
Guys, thanks for watching. Please, like we always say, like, subscribe,
Follow us.
subscribe. WhoInvitedWill.com. That's the only place you ever need to go on the internet. It has all the answers. It has all the information. It has all the entertainment. It is the entire internet. We are the entire internet.
Our
Keep
Instagram.
sending in those questions.
At WhoInvitedWill, please message at Neil Schneider.
Our Instagram at Who Invited Will. That's we always would like to increase our followers.
Come on, dude. Get some energy in there.
Boys!
I think we should set a podcast goal right now. This is a goals episode just to just to end on this. How many subscribers do you think we should have by the end of 2021? Because
I think we're about
we should
50.
have.
If we got 100, if we double that.
No. We need 1,000 subscribers at
Oh
least.
my, attainable.
I'm gonna say
Jay.
1,000 subscribers.
That's not attainable.
1
Okay, I would
and
say
3 zeros. That is the
200.
goal. 1,000.
200.
1,000.
200 is
200.
I would say 1,000 subscribers.
okay. Well, we
500.
have no
500 is 500. I will say 500. We could have 500.
But
500.
there needs to be. I think another thing. I'm gonna add on another part of my
I'm
S.M.A.R.T.
also having a shoulder surgery, so I'm gonna be out. We're not gonna
Smart,
have
you'll
smart
be
act,
in.
guys. Smart act. It's smart with you're adding in accountability, and then you're also adding in consequences.
I thought it was
if you
gonna be
don't
kayak.
No.
Smart.
If
Alright.
you don't attain your goal, you should have consequences for that. To put a little.
So if we don't get
skin in the game.
500 subscribers, we will
delete the podcast forever. No. Okay.
we will show our penises
No.
on YouTube Live.
All right. Another one in the
No.
books.
I think we got we got 5. Why game night, dude? Is that why you want to end?
I gotta pee.
To go to game
I've
night.
been needing to pee for like 30 minutes.
All right, guys. Neil needs to pee.
All right.
I need you to like and subscribe. We need 500 subscribers by the end of 2021. Another episode in the books. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye. Bye.
That was like our best episode.